a question to the minister. Has your government begun any kind of formally structured federal government-led national economic relaunch strategy that includes safe and staged lifting of mass isolation measures?
Thank you very much for the member, Madam Rempel Garner, for that question. The work that we are engaged in and have been engaged in is ensuring that we are providing measures, economic measures, to help Canadian small businesses and entrepreneurs through this very difficult time so that we can flatten the curve as a country.
So my question was not that. It was, do you have a formal plan to lift mass isolation measures safely and in a staged approach so that we can start the economy? And if not, why?
You've heard from the Prime Minister that he and the Deputy Prime Minister are working closely with colleagues and at the provincial and at the territorial level. The work that I am seized with and that we are focused on is making sure that businesses across the country are getting the support that they need, whether it is helping them keep their staff.
Yes, but the best way for the businesses to get support is to get back to work and reopen. So when can the Canadian economy expect to reopen safely? And when will you table a plan or tell Canadians what your plan is for that timeline?
The work that we're doing right now, and it's a Team Canada approach, is to flatten the curve so that Canadians are safe and that they are healthy. And the extraordinary measures that we're asking Canadians to do to flatten this curve is, I would agree, I hope everyone will agree, is job one, which is why we have the measures that we have right now to make sure that.
But why is it a binary? Why can't we do both? We need to start talking about doing both because our economy is suffering. So when are you going to table a plan to safely reopen the economy while stopping the spread of COVID? When can we expect that?
We're going to keep working with Canadian businesses just as we have during this time. We're listening to businesses. The measures that you see, the economic measures, are in response to what they need to manage through this difficult period. We're also listening to those businesses about what it is that they are going to need.
Well, here's what I'm hearing. We need a plan to reopen the economy. So when are you guys going to at least give some timeline or indication that you have a plan to do both, flatten the curve and reopen the economy? These businesses need to reopen. They don't need handouts for 18 months. They need a plan to get back to work. So when is that plan forthcoming?
The measures that we have put in place is to help businesses manage through this time and to get them on good foot so that when it is safe to do so, when it is safe to restart the economy, that we are working together.
When will it be safe? What are you doing to make it safe?
We are listening.
What about testing? What is that time period? If I'm a small business right now, I need to know this to make plans on whether or not I'm going to close up shop permanently or keep trying to stay alive. That's your job. You have to start telling people when we are going to reopen the economy.
We're working very intently with businesses who are telling us that they need to be able to access some cash flow so that they can manage through this period.
Yes, cash flow from doing their work.
They're telling
like from
us
actually doing their business, like selling things and being open. Like, you have to understand that businesses don't just want handouts from the government. They want a plan to know when they can get back to work. So when is that plan forthcoming? Like, when are you guys going to start talking timelines and staging and testing?
Well, in talking to the thousands upon thousands of businesses, including the over 1,000 businesses that my department talks to every day, the questions that I am getting very much from businesses as recent as yesterday and today is, how do I access getting the support to keep my team together during this period so that we can be on that road to recovery when it's safe to do so. We're absolutely
So you don't have any
hard.
timeline. I'll phrase it differently. Do you have any timeline to reopen the economy? Is there any chat about a timeline or a staged approach or anything, like any sort of timeline whatsoever that is coming up in your cabinet discussions, in your department? Like, do you have any glimmer of hope for people in terms of a plan?
Well, the glimmer of hope for Canadian business is just how incredibly resilient they are. And they are incredibly innovative. They're stepping up to, to serve the needs of helping our frontline healthcare workers and those essential
When
workers.
Are you going to reopen the economy?
I'm going to continue to listen to businesses across the country so that they are supported through this period. And we're going to listen to those businesses as we help them through
no plan.
Through the restart,
no
and through
timeline.
the recovery.
That is mind-blowing.
And unfortunately, that is your time.